Hello, my name is Jessica, and I'm here to speak to you guys about embodying your authentic essence. So, let me start by introducing you guys to my spirit animal, and it's actually an orchid praying mantis. And I know that sounds weird, I'm off subject, but the beautiful thing about the orchid praying mantis is it actually looks like an orchid. And a lot of people think that it hunts by way of hiding in the flowers, but it doesn't hide. It actually stands separate from the flowers. In a sense, those flowers are its competition. And what happens is that its prey literally comes to it in a direct way, a direct line. There's no camouflage, there's no hiding. It is bold and it is out there. And that's kind of the magic of showing up. This bug hunts by literally just showing up, no extra effort. And as women, that is the magic that we have forgotten. We've forgotten the art of showing up sometimes. We get caught up in the milestones and the hurdles and transitions of life, and we tend to lose ourselves or we hide in a way of coping. But we don't have to do that. Personally, my story 2 years ago, I wouldn't call it a depression, but I would call it a sense of chaos and emptiness, feeling of loss. I'll just say it's a personality crisis, right? And between working from home for 4 years and, recent COVID, I got used to not getting dressed. And in a sense, that was not showing up for myself. And to bring it into that personality crisis, I ended up starting with my closet. And that was more powerful than the therapy and all the self-help books. I'm not saying those aren't useful, but coming to my closet, that was the most powerful thing. So I rediscovered and fell in love with myself. In essence, I looked at my closet and I said, this girl is so dope. Like, look at this girl that has all these beautiful patterns and colors and textures in her closet. Where did that girl go? In that rediscovery, I actually discovered the power of showing up of who I wanted to secretly be. At the end of that year, that personality crisis year, I ended up writing down not just my goals, but the person I wanted to be. I wrote down her habits. I wrote down her ambitions. I wrote down what her energy felt like, what her essence felt like. I wrote down how she smelled, and most importantly, the quickest hack to get there, how she dressed. If you didn't know, it's scientifically proven that you take on the perceived behavior of your clothing. There was an actual scientific study where they took the same lab coat and they told one set of people that they were painter coats, like a painter's coat, and the other set of people a doctor's coat. And when they were asked to do a certain task, they had temporarily took on those aspects of that profession. So after that kind of veer off, let's get back to that self-love and healing journey after the personality crisis. This is where I really found the beauty of naturally shining in my authentic and natural essence. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever seen something that looked so crazy on someone, but that person embodied it so well that they made it look normal because they sat so comfortably in the look? I would say think of like Lady Gaga, right? She wore that infamous meat dress, and while it was utterly ridiculous to be dressed in meat, she did not look terrible. She was comfortable and confident in how she was wearing. And we all have that essence, and we all have that magic, right? And if you think about the power of your closet, it's a historical account, like a library of your emotions and the phases of your life, and they tell a story. And we forget that we write that narrative. It's not what society tells us. It's who we choose to be. So I know you guys probably are thinking that's a reach, right? Clothes and this magic essence. But think about it. Every single item in your closet was based on a thought that prompted that action. Even the stray items that you held on to that you were gifted. Your thoughts and your decisions are pretty much like things coming from your mental space into your physical space. That's literally your closet. It shows all the symptoms of your mental, physical, and psychological well-being. If you've ever had to, pack up a loved one's items after death, you kind of go through their closet and you can see all of that I'm saying in front of you by those items that they picked over the span of their life. The sweater you kept because Auntie Cheryl might have said, where's that sweater I bought you that you didn't like, shows your anxiety and your people pleasing. That clearance rack mindset that you keep because you like to pick up things because it was on sale shows that maybe you don't think you deserve the things that you want, or that you might not be worth buying the things that you want, so you get the discount version. Your grandma might have gave you a complex when you were 15, when she said she looked pregnant, but you were really just bloated. So now you always hide your waistline. Think of all those things in our closet and in our mind that we hold on to that's no longer serving us. Like, you have to break the rules, break your own rules, break into the new rules of the new you. The only box that you have to be in is literally the box that you built yourself. Other than that, you're dynamic. So back to my own personal experience of rediscovering my closet. The beginning of last year, I got the opportunity to be on a beautiful trip. I had a month off of work and I decided to travel. And in this month, I decided to question everything, just like I was suggesting with the closet. I questioned everything. I came to find out that I had an opposition to shorts, not because I truly didn't like my shorts, but because I related them to being fast, because that was something I heard in my childhood. And so on that sabbatical, guess what I did? I explored shorts and I rediscovered them and I love them and I look great in them. The same thing with hoop earrings. I always thought, oh, they're basic, they're cheap. And I had dared and pushed myself beyond my boundary, as simple as it is. And I decided to buy a pair of hoop earrings and I ended up falling in love with them. So I say all this to say, challenge those things that you believed wholeheartedly as fact and truth. And in cleaning your closet and rediscovering and making sure you're showing up to yourself, it gets you in the practice of taking your power back and making those decisions for yourself. And it helps you challenge your beliefs and rules and helps you to unpack what's really yours and what's really authentic to you and what were the things we were raised or influenced by society. And this, after the magic of this formula, this is how you get down to that authentic essence. So discover, challenge yourself as you were a child. Everything is new. And there is no such thing as failing in fashion. You fail forward. You discover, you experience. And you might not have a great look or you had an off day, but you were bold enough to try. And that's the magic. The other part of the magic is once I got into the authentic me, everything I wanted and I didn't know that I even needed came directly to me. Almost like Amazon Prime, right? I got, in that year that I discovered my authentic essence and got back to showing up for myself. Because when you show up for yourself, then everything else can show up for you. I got offered a chance to be on a cooking show. I actually became a professional belly dancer off of coming to one practice. And I got to plan countless events. Everything that was aligned for that woman that I wrote down that I wanted to be came to fruition. And it started and it hacked with me embodying the image and the energy that went along with that type of woman. So allow your image to be aligned with your vision and you will embody the essence and things will come to you without hesitation. That is the main thing. If you don't remember anything else, you want the magic of everything coming to you from being authentic. And I think a lot of the times we show up not being authentic to get certain expectations, but really being authentic is what makes sure that you're getting the things that are aligned with you. So like I'm just in general, we have the power to draw positive things, people, and opportunities that are meant specifically for us when we show up in the correct ways in life. You can use your style to raise your vibration, raise your behaviors, and become that person you always wanted to be, or for you to maintain the person you already were. Because sometimes we don't have those improvement things. Sometimes we're happy where we're at, but we don't want to slide off and not show up for ourselves. Fashion is a tool to use to embrace yourself and love yourself. It's not a tool to hate on yourself or be upset or say that you can't do anything. I actually became a personal style coach because a lot of the compliments that I received were off-putting compliments. Like, I can't pull that off, but you look great in it. We all have that essence. We can all do the thing. We can all wear the thing we weren't supposed to, quote unquote, by the standard, as long as it's comfortable and authentic and true to you. The light at the end of the tunnel with fashion is just pretty much show up for yourself using your style. Clothing is only like 20% of style. The rest of it is mindset and authenticity. Showing up for yourself doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be challenging. It just has to be authentic to who you are. And once you get to that, from digging in your closet and looking at the foundation of who you are, you can do that without hesitation. I challenge you to show up as the woman you want to be, or be consistent in showing up in the woman you already are. When we embody our authentic essence, you realize how opportunities will pour in. In conclusion, I just want to say thank you for your time. I love you all. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you're inspired to show up. That is the biggest thing that stops us. It's never the task. It's never the thing that we need to do. It's usually our mindset behind it. I swear to you, it's not as intimidating as you think it is. Always show up. That's how you can show up for others. If you want to keep in contact with me, my name is Jessika. I also go by Jessa. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Sunflower Cabana, and then on my website at sunflowercabana.com. Sunflower Cabana is a safe space for you to learn and embody your essence. Just like Speak Up Sis wants us to be authentic with our voices, I would love to challenge you to be authentic with your style. Thank you, Angel, and the Speak Up Sis platform for having me, and I hope you guys got a great message out of today. Thank you.